Have you ever wondered why some people work their entire lives, earning a paycheck, while others seem to make money work for them, almost effortlessly? Today, we're diving deep into a question that might change the way you see work, money, and life itself. But before we jump in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because what you're about to hear could literally change the way you think about your career and your future. Imagine two people. Both are intelligent, hardworking, and ambitious. Both want financial freedom. One is an employee, the other, an investor. But here's the twist. The way they think, the way they see opportunities, and the way they approach risk is worlds apart. And this difference, it's the single biggest factor that determines who ends up stuck in the rat race and who breaks free. Let's start with the employee mindset. Employees are trained to trade time for money. You show up, you perform, and you get a paycheck. There's security in this. There's comfort in having a steady income. Most employees measure success by stability, a steady job, benefits, and maybe a promotion every few years. They follow a roadmap set by someone else, relying on company policies and external validation to feel secure. It's not just about the paycheck. Employees often see money as a reward for effort. Work hard, get paid. Work harder, maybe get a raise. The equation seems simple, predictable, and safe. But here's the catch. The moment the company struggles, or technology changes, or the market shifts, that sense of security can vanish overnight. And yet, many people stay on this path because it feels familiar, it feels safe. Now, contrast this with the investor mindset. Investors see the world differently. To them, money is a tool to create more money, a tool to generate freedom. They don't trade hours for dollars. They focus on assets, opportunities, and growth. Where employees see risk and danger, investors see potential. And where employees see limitations, investors see options. Investors understand that real wealth isn't built by working harder, it's built by working smarter, by letting money, networks, and knowledge work for you. The irony is, investors often take more calculated risks than employees, yet their lives feel more secure, more flexible, and more abundant. Here's an example. Imagine an employee saving $500 a month. They deposit it into a savings account, earning a small, predictable interest. Now, imagine an investor taking that same $500 and putting it into stocks, real estate, or a small business. The employee earns security. The investor builds potential. One path grows slowly, almost invisible to the eye. The other has the chance to multiply exponentially. Over time, the difference isn't small, it's life-altering. But it's not just about money. The employee mindset is tied to identity. Many people define themselves by their jobs. I am a teacher. I am an engineer. I am an accountant. And when your identity is wrapped around someone else's business, your freedom is limited. Investors, however, define themselves by value creation and opportunities. They focus on what they can control, their knowledge, their decisions, their ability to spot trends before anyone else. Fear of failure, fear of uncertainty, fear of stepping out of comfort zones. Investors learn to embrace fear. They understand that failure isn't the end, it's feedback. Each misstep is a lesson, a stepping stone, a chance to refine strategy. But what if I told you that the line between employee and investor isn't drawn by education, age, or luck? It's drawn by mindset. The way you think, the way you react, the way you see money and risk, it decides which path you're on. And here's where things get really interesting, because most people believe they're stuck as employees. The shift isn't about working harder, it's about seeing differently, about challenging what you've been taught about money, work, and security. Tomorrow, we'll dive even deeper into the psychology that separates employees from investors. We'll uncover the subtle habits, decisions, and strategies that allow investors to build wealth silently, while employees remain trapped in the grind. And trust me, some of these truths might make you question everything you thought you knew about success. Now, let's get into the habits that define investors, the subtle choices that compound into life-changing results. It starts with perspective. Investors don't focus on immediate gratification. They see the long game. Every dollar is a seed. Every decision is a chance to grow something bigger than themselves. One of the biggest differences is mindset toward learning. Employees often stop learning once they're qualified. They rely on degrees, certificates, and experience. Investors, on the other hand, never stop learning. They read books, study markets, follow trends, and absorb knowledge from every corner of life. They understand that their brain is their most valuable asset. And here's the secret. Knowledge isn't just power, it's leverage. Investors also think in terms of systems, not tasks. Employees focus on completing tasks, checking boxes, meeting deadlines. And then there's the concept of risk. Employees often fear it, avoiding any step that could disrupt their paycheck. Investors calculate it, embrace it, and sometimes even seek it. But it's not reckless, it's measured. Every move is strategic. And over time, this willingness to take calculated risks separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Here's a truth most people don't want to face. Being an investor is lonely at first. Friends and family might question your choices. Why aren't you focusing on a stable job? Why risk money you've worked hard for? The employee mindset is comfortable and accepted. The investor mindset is misunderstood until it works. And when it does, the results speak louder than anyone's doubts. But the shift doesn't require millions. It doesn't require a groundbreaking idea. It begins with small steps. Investing $50 here, $100 there. Learning about stocks, real estate, or entrepreneurship. Experimenting. Failing. Learning. Adapting. The journey is gradual, but relentless consistency is what creates freedom. And here's the part most people miss. True wealth isn't about flashy cars or big houses. It's about control over your time, your choices, and your life. Employees trade their most valuable asset, their hours, for security. Investors reclaim their hours, transforming them into opportunity. The difference is profound, almost invisible at first, but over years, it becomes life-defining. Now, let's pull back and see the bigger picture. Employees often live by external rules, company policies, market shifts, bosses' decisions. Investors live by internal rules, strategy, discipline, vision. Employees follow paths laid out by others. Investors create their own path, and in doing so, they build resilience, freedom, and influence. But don't misunderstand me, neither path is inherently wrong. Many employees lead fulfilling lives. But the reality is, if your goal is wealth, freedom, or independence, the employee mindset alone is a barrier. The shift to investor thinking isn't just about money, it's about empowerment. It's about realizing you don't have to live life by someone else's clock, rules, or limits. And here's the final truth. The line between employee and investor is a choice, not an inheritance. Not luck, choice. Every morning, every decision, every dollar, every hour, these are the building blocks of your mindset. Which side will you choose? Will you continue trading hours for security, or will you begin letting your money, knowledge, and opportunities work for you? If this video resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on one small change you could make today toward thinking like an investor. Could it be learning a new skill, investing a small amount, or simply rethinking how you view money and risk? Remember, it's not about working harder, it's about thinking differently. And once that shift happens, the possibilities are endless. If you found value in this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs a mindset reset. And comment below, what's one step you're going to take today to start thinking like an investor? Let's start this journey together.